So you're turning 18. That's a huge deal. But, it doesn't exactly come with an instruction manual, does it? Well, think of this explainer as that guide, kind of like a blueprint for this big transition into manhood. We're going to lay out a clear framework for what comes next. Hitting 18 is a massive milestone. It's like you're standing at the starting line of your adult life. But with all that new freedom comes a really big question. You know you're in a transition, but what's the destination? What kind of man are you trying to build? To even start to answer that, we have to clear out a ton of noise. See, on one side, you've got what the internet often screams at you, this idea of masculinity that's all about ego, dominance, and controlling everything. We're going to push all that aside. We're focusing on the other side of this chart, building a real foundation of grounded strength, responsibility, finding a purpose, and the most important one, self-mastery.
All right, let's dive into our first pillar, redefining modern strength. Now, strength is a word that gets thrown around a lot, right? But so many of the old ideas about what makes a man strong, they're not just outdated, they can actually be pretty damaging. We need a new definition, a better one.
Now, this idea, based on Justin Baldoni's work, it completely flips the script. It suggests that real strength isn't about being the loudest, toughest guy in the room. It's about having the guts to be honest with yourself and with other people. It's having the courage just to be who you are without putting on an act. That pressure to perform, to put on an act, it actually has a name. Speaker Tony Porter calls it the man box. Just imagine this invisible box with a bunch of unwritten rules that society hands to boys about how they're supposed to be a man. And here they are, the rules of the box. Don't cry, never show weakness, shove your emotions down until you can't feel them anymore. The core message is that being a man is all about dominating and controlling others. But living in that box is incredibly restrictive and, honestly, pretty lonely. The first step toward real, authentic strength is breaking out of it. It's not about being emotionless, it's about being emotionally honest. So once you start breaking free from that outside pressure, you get to focus on the most important job you'll ever have, the power of self-mastery. And listen, this isn't about controlling the world around you, it's about getting a handle on your own inner world first. And this is the bottom line, the fundamental principle. Before you can lead anyone, before you can build anything cool, before you achieve anything that really matters, the very first project is you. Self-mastery is the foundation that everything else gets built on. So what does that actually look like? Well, first, you master your temper. This is the huge difference between just reacting with raw emotion and actually responding with thought and intention. That control, that's real power. Next up, you master your money. And hey, this isn't about getting rich. It's about understanding your finances so that you are in control of them, instead of them being in control of you. That right there is a fundamental form of freedom and self-discipline. And finally, the big one, master your ego. That voice in your head that needs to be right, that craves approval and is terrified of looking bad. Learning to quiet that voice down lets you actually listen, learn from your mistakes, and grow without getting defensive. It's the key to real confidence. Now, how do you actually achieve all that mastery? Here's a secret. It's not about motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and you know how feelings are? They come and they go. Discipline, on the other hand, discipline is a choice. It's what you do even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the engine that builds mastery, not the spark. This kind of discipline builds a really powerful mindset, summed up perfectly by Jocko Willink as extreme ownership. Look, you can't control what happens to you. Things will go wrong. But you always control how you respond. Taking full ownership of that response, that's the ultimate form of power. So once you've started that internal work, redefining your strength and practicing self-mastery, how does that actually show up in the world? Well, it translates into leadership and human connection. It's how you start to impact others in a really positive way. Tree Dudley has this awesome way of looking at leadership. It's not about being the boss or having a fancy title. It's about all those little everyday moments where you choose to make a positive impact, to recognize someone, to help them out, to just lift them up. That's real leadership. But what's the whole point of all this? What actually leads to a happy, fulfilling life? For that, we can look at one of the longest scientific studies ever done. For 75 years, Harvard researchers followed the lives of hundreds of men just trying to find the answer. And after all that time, the answer was crystal clear. It wasn't the money they made, or how famous they got, or how much power they had. The biggest predictor of a good, happy life was the quality of their relationships, the strength of their connections with other people. That's the real prize. Okay, we've covered some really big ideas here: strength, mastery, connection. So now let's bring it all down to earth. Let's talk about your path forward, the actual things you can focus on starting today. So here it is. This is your focus. Instead of chasing status, build real competence. Learn practical skills that can help you and other people. Develop your physical fitness. It's the foundation for mental toughness. Get a handle on your money so you're in control. Learn to regulate your own emotions and understand other people's. And through all of that, begin the search for your purpose. This is the work. This is how you build a man. And you don't have to figure all this out alone. Seriously, books can be some of your greatest mentors. Books like Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday, and Atomic Habits by James Clear. They are incredible guides for building real character, resilience, and discipline. So, as you step into this next huge chapter of your life, remember this: whatever has happened before, whatever challenges you've faced, they don't get to define your potential. Your past is not your ceiling. The choices you make today, the character you decide to build right now, that's what will shape your entire future. Go build it.